Okay, so setting yourself up for a sitting practice, which you are welcome to do lying down. So listening to what your body needs today. And we're going to move through a compassion practice, which we've been building on over the last couple of weeks. So just taking a moment to settle and arrive. So an invitation to begin with to scan from your toes to your head, checking for any points of tension and having a sense of taking your seat and setting yourself up with a dignified and graceful posture. So you want your spine in its natural alignment. Your chin will be gently tucked. If you have your eyes open, focusing on a point on the floor in front of you, sort of around 45 degrees. Checking that you're not holding your belly in. You need to create space for your breath. You want a soft, round belly. That your shoulders aren't hunched or up by your ears. With a tall spine. And that your jaw isn't clenched and that your eyes aren't scrunched up and that your forehead is smooth. You're not holding on to any tension. An invitation to take an internal weather report. How are you? So finding a label and perhaps an emotion, and then dropping into the body and the felt sensation of that. What's here? What's present? As we drop from doing to being. How are you? And then bringing your attention to your breath. Not changing the rhythm in any way, simply being with the breath as it is, sort of allowing the breath to breathe itself. One other thing that unites us with every other human being is that we all breathe. And an invitation to bring your attention to your in-breath. What's most vivid for you in your in-breath? And if it's helpful for you, you're welcome to count the breath. From 1 up to 10. And then returning to 1. Each time your mind wanders, simply bringing your focus back to the in-breath, to counting, starting from 1, if that's helpful for you. Remembering to follow my instructions only if they feel right for you. If you don't want to count, don't count. Resting in the felt sensation of listening to what you need. Taking care of your health and well-being. Honoring your needs. Bringing an open and kind welcome to your experience of your in-breath. And now moving your attention away from the in-breath and bringing the spotlight of your attention to your out-breath. What's most vivid for you in your out-breath? And an invitation to check in with your posture. You're not slumped, that you're not tightening or tensing parts of the body unnecessarily. A graceful and dignified posture. Your body that houses you. Honoring that as we pay attention to our out breath. And counting. That's right for you. And the mind will wander, looking for some stimulation, something a little bit more interesting than the breath. And each time you notice that it's wandered off, congratulating yourself for noticing. And then returning your attention back to your out breath. The key to the practice is in the noticing. It's not an invitation to judge or criticize yourself, but to simply notice that your mind has wandered, and that's what minds do. Just as your lungs breathe, your mind will wander and find entertainment for itself. So gently, firmly, kindly bringing yourself back to your out-breath each time it's wandered. And now an invitation to bring your attention to your breath as a whole. So the full cycle of your breath as you breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause, breathe in, breathe out. Following the flow of your breath. And counting if that feels helpful. What do you pay attention to? Is it one point in particular? Is it the whole of the breath? Do you follow it? Do you travel with it? Where's it most vivid? Where's it most quiet? That childlike curiosity that we're cultivating for ourselves. We're paying close attention to our bodies and the breath. And expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of the body. Again, this is a natural moment to check in with your body again and weave any adjustments into the practice. Honoring the space that houses you. Being an impartial witness to yourself as you breathe in your body. And if any sensations are particularly distracting or uncomfortable, knowing that you have some options and choices into how you respond, that you can move, weaving the movements into the practice, and then resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. That you can explore the sensations, rest with them, observe them, be curious, explore them, the shapes and colours and textures and movements, the density, the textures. And there's also the breath. You can breathe into or around a sensation, perhaps giving a sense of spaciousness. Taking a childlike interest in yourself and the sensations that you're noticing. And that those three options are available to you throughout the practice and outside of the practice. Whatever arises, we have choices. Where do you begin and end? Assuming that stance of impartial witness to yourself. What is it to be you in this moment as you breathe in your body? The noises, the sensations. Willing to see everything as if for the first time. An invitation to hold yourself in your mind's eye tenderly as you observe your experience of sitting with your breath in your body. And now an invitation to bring into your mind's eye a living being that brings you joy. Nothing or nobody too loaded with stories. A simple living being that brings you joy. A bird, a flower, a small child, a kitten, a puppy. A living being that's easy to rest with for a moment. What are the felt sensations of holding this living being that brings you joy? What do you notice in your face, in your posture, with your breath? What are the felt sensations of holding this living being that brings you joy in your mind's eye? Noticing the constant streaming judgment of the mind and returning your attention to the felt sensations each time you notice. We move out of the perpetual human tendency to want to hold on to the pleasant and to get rid of the unpleasant. Perhaps noticing the grasping, and resting in your direct physical and felt experience of holding a living being in your mind's eye. letting be versus holding and struggling. Linking into the natural flow of all reality, the coming and going, the impermanence. And anchoring in the present moment, in the now. Exploring the felt sensation of holding in our mind's eye a living being that brings us joy. Where are the sensations? The shapes, the colours, the textures, the density, the movements. Perhaps there's music, perhaps there's sounds, maybe even taste. And an invitation to place a hand on your heart, one on your belly, if this feels right for you. And you can say these phrases out loud or internally. As we direct our attention to this living being that brings us joy. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. And may you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. And then rest in the felt sensation of having said those words. And then returning your attention to your breath, narrowing the focus of your awareness to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And then expanding your awareness to include your body. This space that houses you. Observing yourself as an impartial witness with tenderness and curiosity and kindness. All that you've been through. And still you rise. Checking in with your posture. Honoring yourself. The felt sensation of what it is to be you. Holding yourself in your mind's eye with tenderness, and compassion, and kindness. Everything that's brought you to be here in this moment, all those experiences. Perhaps observing yourself as you would a newborn baby. Shining the spotlight of awareness around your body and checking in with yourself. What do you notice? Your feet that moved you around this morning to get you here to this spot. The calf, the knees, the thighs that needed very little direction to do what you asked. The abdomen, the back, the chest, housing the organs that quietly work away on our behalf with very little intervention unless they cause us discomfort. Our arms and hands. Our necks, our scalps, our face, our ears. Our eyes, our nostrils, our lips. The process. Communicate. Make sense of the nonsensical. Our impermanence. Resting in the felt sensation of what it is to be you in this moment. With kindness and curiosity and interest. Allowing the present to be as it is. And an invitation to place a hand on your heart area and one on your belly if that feels right for you. And saying these words out loud or internally, replacing any that don't fit for you. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself and others. May I be well. May I be at ease. And may I be kind to myself and others. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself and others. Resting in the felt sensation of having said those words and held yourself in this way. And now expanding your awareness to include this group, those who are in this space now and those who are accessing the groups later, that we're all a group together. Practicing these mindful compassion techniques, taking this time out of our lives to take care of our own health and well-being. And this isn't easy. Resting in stillness with ourselves is not easy. You can have your hand on your heart, on your belly, or resting in your lap as you wish. Saying these words out loud or internally. May we be well. May we be at ease. May we be kind to ourselves and each other. May we be well. May we be at ease. May we be kind to ourselves and each other. May we be well. May we be at ease. May we be kind to ourselves and each other. And then expanding your awareness a little further to your household, your village, your region, your country, your continent, the world, the universe, as far as you want to go. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. May we all be kind to ourselves and each other. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. And then resting in the felt sensation of having worked that compassion muscle. And dropping into the felt sensation within your body. Of what you notice, what's most present, what's quiet. An invitation to scan from your head down to your toes and check in with yourself. How are you? What sensations do you notice? What's happened to your posture, your breath? As we sit in stillness, we observe our habits and our tendencies. Letting go of any tension or tightening. And resting in the felt sensation of being you, breathing in your body. And then narrowing your attention to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. So moving and stretching in whatever way your body needs. And we'll move into a tea practice. This invitation to bring mindful awareness and attention into the simple activities of our day. Simply taking tea. Doesn't need to be a full hour of mindfulness meditation. These chores and activities are our lives. The majority of our days are made up of mundane experiences that we can drop into as meditation. And I have got a flower that I've completely forgotten what it is, but I must have looked it up and found that it had some amazing properties. So it's a bit exciting. The sounds, the colours, the shapes and textures. So this is an invitation to pause the video for those of you accessing the session later, and to drop into the felt sensation of holding this living being in your mind's eye and yourself with tender compassion and kindness. And if you have a notebook, this could be a good opportunity to just write one page. Stream of consciousness. No pressure, and you don't need to read it back. Okay. Pause the recording. So before we close this practice, the home practice for the week is a 10-minute self-compassion practice, which will be linked on the page. So we're going to continue to build on this skill, this muscle that we're cultivating and working on. If anything comes up for you within the practices that you'd like to explore, or you're concerned or worried about, please do get in touch. And also the invitation over the week is to bring in more movement into your day. Sitting in this way is not easy for the body, particularly with our modern lives. So lots of reaching things and bending down and stretching is a little challenge for you. This will then support you within the sitting practice if we're practicing these sorts of movements. Our lives are very convenient and very comfortable, which means that sitting in stillness is not as easy as it could be for the body. And also that nature is waking up. Have a look out for things that might perhaps be things that you could be making some infusion waters with, or drying later to make teas. Cleavers, the sticky willy, the gorse grass is starting to appear, and that is great for drainage, sort of helping the body at the end of a long winter to detox. So some little things we can do from nature and the peace of the wild things. But to close, we're just going to do a 3-part breathing space, probably the most important practice to be learning off by heart. So to begin with, arriving in your body. You don't need to be sat in a particular way. This can be done anywhere. You can have your eyes open or closed, but dropping into the body and the felt sensation, noticing the thoughts, emotions, physical experiences that are going on right now. That impartial witness of yourself. Like you might be checking a list of things that you need, like checking in with yourself, what's going on. From your head down to your toes, or perhaps your toes up to your head. And then narrowing your attention to your breath. Simply following the flow of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. And then expanding your awareness to include all of your body. You breathing the space above you, beneath you, beside you, in front of you. The clothes against your skin. The air that touches your bare skin. How are you holding your body? And an invitation to place a hand on your heart and one on your belly. I want you to have a think about what you need to do next. What does this body need you to do next? Does it need to move in a certain way? Does it need to be nourished? Does it need to be massaged? What do you need to do to take care of yourself next? And then taking a moment to honour yourself for having taken the time out of your busy day to take care of your own health and well-being. And as best you can, taking the sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day.